Sorry, the camera was a little blurry. Hold on for a second. I have to go into the control room. Just hold on. Okay. Hopefully you guys can hear me good enough. You're gonna hear me breathe a lot. No, I'm not sick. I just don't want to show my ugly freaking mouth. But besides that, so you might be wondering why I'm gonna be talking about furries and just furry stuff and where I got this topic. So we're gonna go all the way in the beginning, first of all. So one of my very good internet friends, Oliver, got me back into the furry community. I do not remember how, but they got me back into the furry community. And now I'm just obsessed with furries. Like, my inner furry is intensifying right now. But other than that, I know how much hate the furry community gets, and I know my opinion will probably not change anyone's perspective on furries, or just like, I will just probably get hate because, like, my opinion is probably so dumb, or that my opinion is valid, or who the freak knows. You can say whatever about my opinion, but this is my opinion on what I think about furries, the furry haters, and the furry community itself. Whew, I'm glad the internet is pretty good, so that the live can run so smoothly. My audio was probably terrible, but oh well. And I apologize for my squeaky chair that you're going to hear constantly. But other than that, you might be wondering why this is in a ranting video. It's because I know I'm going to rant so much about furries that I do not want to even edit that video. So I'm going to make a live stream about furries instead. So, furries. They are people who are in animal costume, or for an easier definition, mascots that are made by professionals or by themselves. Or by friends, I guess. And they just love dressing up as their personas. Personas is basically their original character of, like, themselves, or just a random animal, like anthropomatic. There's a big definition of anthro, but I don't know how to describe it. It's a talking animal that goes on two legs. That's my definition. And, like, they just like dressing up as animals / their personas. An easier definition, furry OCs. OC is original character. They made that character, they dress up as it, but they decided they do want a fursuit of their persona or not. You don't need a fursuit to be in the furry community or go in a convention. Why did I say it like that? You don't need a fursuit to be in the furry community or in a furry con. If you think you are a furry and if you have a persona, you're immediately a furry. Congrats, little child. You are now in the furry community. But just be warned that if you're new to the furry fandom, be careful, and I mean be very careful of the amount of hate that's going to be just in your face. There's plenty, and I mean plenty of haters in the furry community. Not by the furries. Furries do not hate each other. The furry community, in my opinion, is a very loving and accepting community that the haters just want to weigh them down for the dumbest reason ever. I cannot breathe in this mask. I'm going to take it off because I cannot breathe. But like, I would say that it's mostly like the gamers and just the boys because they're dumb. I know that's so rude to say. I'm not talking about all gamers, of course, but it's just the ones that just hate everything and that are very controlling. I would call them spoiled brats, but it's rude. It's really rude to say. But they like furry haters go really beyond of what they say. They send death threats like I can't say it because I'm pretty sure this will be taken down, but they just send really death threatening comments on like a furry video because they're like weird or that it's weird to dress up as animals or that they're really annoying and that they just don't want them to exist like at all when technically they're not big brain. When technically we're animals but not animals, we're technically mammals, so that kind of counts as an animal basically. So I don't for the weird part, yeah, some furries can be weird, but that's the thing. That's literally the thing. Being weird is hella fun. Just being weird is very freaking fun. They love pretending as animals. Leave them be. They're just pretending to be animals. Yes, I know, Arrow. Stop being big brain. I'm trying to be big brain here. But the death threatening comments can be like, I'm not gonna say a little too far. It's extremely far. You should actually be in jail for saying that death threatening comment. Like, I don't want to say anything because it's probably gonna trigger someone and it's probably gonna trigger YouTube. But the death threats to furries, it's not really funny whatsoever. Some furries may laugh at it because they get a lot of hate probably, and some might be sensitive because they probably don't even know why they're getting hate. Like even some people like try like if someone wants to be a furry, usually the haters will be do not be a furry, they're weird and annoying and you'll get bullied for it. When yes, you are going to get bullied for it, but why does that matter? You don't have to care for others' opinions. I mean, yes, you sometimes do, but if you want to be an animal, go for it. You want to have fun, go for it. Just be a freaking furry if you want to. Because being a furry is freaking fun. It's hella fun. You get to meet plenty of like famous people, get a lot of friends, get a lot of merchandise, get like freaking fursuits. Ow. But yeah, I don't think you should hate on furries just for their hobby, and like just pretending to be animals because that's literally the dumbest like reason to hate on them. Like, no, do not, no, just stop, no. And I'm talking to all the haters. Do not hate on a furry for just a hobby and for just because they're pretending to be an animal, because just commissioning a maker takes so much money because they work very hard on their fursuits, and fursuits are really hard to make that my dumb big brain doesn't even understand how to even do this or how to do that or this and that and that. Like making fursuits, it's extremely hard, even just by a head or like just other features of a fursuit. It's still extremely hard to make, even if a fursuit has electronics. It's really hard. Even watching a fursuit is freaking difficult for me. It's like hating on weebs or gamers or basically anything else. Yeah, every fandom basically has a toxic side, but like from what I've seen from the furry fandom, I don't. It's just mostly the haters are not even in the community hating on the furries, even though the furries are not toxic. So like the furry fandom, the furry community is really accepting and loved, but the haters are hating on them because of that. But they're hating on them for other reasons besides that, which is honestly stupid. Even like going to a convention makes a lot of money. Doing a panel probably takes money and your time. Like they're wasting their time making useless comments that the furries are not even going to be affected because of how much hate they get. Yeah, some might think they are disappointing, but that's for fun because that's like a little fun pun, fun joke that is in the furry community. And you should see like how many people are very happy just to get like their very first fursuit or meet new people, go to conventions, even like spending time with kids like in the outside. Like you literally shouldn't hate on a furry just for having fun because you're not acting cool, you're embarrassing yourself. And technically you're not even weighing them down, you're just making yourself look very dumb and miserable. Like if you live a miserable life, you might as well just like find a way to have fun. And being a furry could be a way because it's a very lovable and accepting community. Like you get lots of hugs, lots of friends, just lots of fun in general. I don't know how else am I supposed to describe the furry community. And like you get to have fun with like making your personas, making art of your persona or just art for someone else, making it a fursuit, just seeing people being happy of being a furry, and they're basically having fun. Being animals, being a furry, being an artist, being a dancer, like there's freaking hella ass cool, hella cool, like furry dancers. And dancing in a fursuit, it's probably so hard because of how much heat is inside the fursuit. You are going to have a heat stroke in a goddamn fursuit if you don't take breaks time to time. Being a fursuiter is hard, is very freaking hard. And like you don't really give fursuiters a chance, or you don't give furries in general a chance to express themselves, and so that you can see from their perspective or just support them. Like supporting them is not that hard. It's literally not that hard. You just support them, and you don't have to be a furry. You can just support them and move on your merry way. Literally, do not waste your time just hating on them constantly. Like, so a few days or weeks, I was on Omegle. And I was in the furry category because I wanted to meet furry fursuiters. And technically fursuiters on Omegle don't really just stay for long unless you're a fursuiter yourself, which is kind of sad. It's really sad. But yeah, I've met so many haters that myself wasn't even affected. And I was surprised because I'm quite a sensitive person when it comes to hate. And I was not affected by the haters, like, at all. And because, like, there was death threats. There was death threats. And, like, one person was like, take off the ears, and, like, take down those posters. And I'm like, okay, buddy, you can continue. I was like, yeah, and then left. But other than that, they're literally wasting their time being on the furry category in Omegle, going to hate on furries. Wow. You're just making yourself look very dumb. And you have to feel embarrassed. Yeah, there was actually some non-furries, but are furry supporters that were on Omegle. And they did say that they were getting hate as well, and they support furries as well. And I felt very loved. I felt very comfortable. But the furry haters, they just make no sense in general, and it's stupid. It's so stupid. They literally waste their time hating on furries on Omegle, commenting or like approaching a furry and just saying, you suck, go die, bye. Like, no. If you don't want to support furries, you can just I mean, I want a lot of people to support the furry fandom, but like you can just leave. You can just like walk away and not say anything to the furry community. Don't even say one word and period. Like furries are amazing. That's all I'm gonna say. Furries are amazing. They're very freaking cool, talented, very talented. And they don't waste their time. They spend their time being animals, making fursuit, making furry arts, going to panels, or planning a panel, doing furry content on YouTube, furry content on TikTok, just anything that's furry related. And they have fun. They enjoy it. They are comfortable. And they're not embarrassed to be they're not embarrassed to be a furry. And even if they receive hate, they still like go along the way because they're probably not even affected by the hate because furries get hate a lot. So furries are basically not even affected by hate. So you're just making yourself look hella dumb and you think that they're gonna be sensitive by it, but no. You're just being stupid, mate. You're just being stupid, mate. So yeah, this was quite a short live stream. I'll try to think of other furry topics that I can talk about because all I just wanted to say was just like the furry haters and like the furry community and just furries themselves. I mean this thing was supposed to be like let's rant about furries, so it doesn't really have to specifically be like why. I don't know if that's YouTube doing that or that's you just like deleting your messages, sir. What are you doing, mate? Anyways, hold on. Okay. Oh, okay. I was just making sure. So I think that's all I gotta say, unless I'm just too dumb. Hold on, let me think of like other things I can talk about. I mean, there's some gamers that are furries themselves. And yeah, the furry community don't mind me. Yeah, the furry community is there is more LGBTQ in there. There's some there's people that are religious in there. What else? There's some people with autism and I think some with ADHD. That's why because I didn't get the thing about furries have autism, and like when I was watching this this 2-part video of a guy just explaining what furries are, and it's a really great explanation. You can actually send this to your parents. But besides that, he showed like a pie chart, and that's where I was talking about with like the LGBTQ community, the disorders, religion, etc. And when I saw that most furries do have autism, I was like, oh, well, that's interesting because I myself, I'm not going to say anything. I'm actually not going to say anything. And yeah, you can actually meet, like if you want friends or if you want people who have the same interests, then you should actually just become a furry or have a furry friend because they'll have like lots of interests with you. Plus making a fursona isn't really that bad because you get to put so much creativity or inspirations to a fursona and boom, you got your own fursona. But yeah, commissioning a fursuit maker is ridiculously hard because they cost 1,000 and above. Sometimes the heads, just the furry head, like costs around like 100. Well, not like 100, but like around like 500, probably 700, 800 maybe. but just like the heads, no wait, just like the partial parts and above immediately cost 1,000. And I'm not saying that's unfair, because it clearly is fair, because they put so much work into it. It makes sense why they want money. They need money to get materials and make more fursuits. Plus, there's plenty of species in the furry community. You can even make your own, which is called an original species. Yeah. I think one time I probably made myself an accidental original species, because I researched on it and there was nothing about a wolf dragon, also known as a fox wolf dragon. And I was like, why is that? Why? How come this is not a species? Because I've only seen like wolf dragons, and there's possibly fox dragons as well, but there's not even a wolf dragon. So I probably made myself an accidental original species, which that was not on purpose. That was on accident. Oh wait, another thing about the haters. Sometimes sometimes they don't put themselves like in furry shoes. That's it. Why do you guys like watch my streams? But other than that, they don't see from their perspective. They don't. The haters don't see from the furry's perspective. Like, they don't know how they feel, or they don't know like what they do. What, like, I don't know how to explain it well. It's just like they receive hate, but they're not affected, so they probably are confused or just more angry, and they probably feel so smart. Haha, very funny. But it's just that the haters don't really give furries a chance, or even try to become a furry. Watch a few furry videos and see like what they do and like why they like becoming. Yeah, like why do they like becoming a furry? Like that's like the greatest freaking question a hater could ask a furry. Why do furries are animals / furries? I have a great definition of why, but like a lot of fursuiters actually have different definitions of why they're being a furry. For me, I just like being fun. I just want to have fun and entertain people with my jumpiness, because one of my personas are very jumpy, and I have to practice that. And just the community itself is very accepting, and I actually do want love and like acceptance and support. So like I'll even make furry content on my original YouTube and here, of course. So yeah, but I do have to wait until I'm much older until I get my own fursuit, unless I start actually getting money from YouTube. But yeah. And I choked on air. But if you are new to the furry community, and if you do want a fursuit early, I think you should just start with a partial if you're very young. Because just getting a full fursuit at a very young age is a very dumb move, because you're not fully grown. And I'm pretty sure fursuit maker will just like decline your request of having a full fursuit, because they know that you're probably not fully grown. Because just getting a partial is better, because it's not a full fursuit, and if you grow, I think your stuff will still fit, but it will just get a little bit tighter, I guess. And just getting a full fursuit, that's even going to be more expensive, because I think they can resize your height, but like if you keep growing and growing, it's going to continuously like get bigger, and that's just going to cost money, I think. So I think you can just like wait until you get a full fursuit. That's why most fursuiters at the age of young adult to basically an adult get a full fursuit, because they stop growing and they're fully grown, and boom, they get a full fursuit. So that's why a partial, it's like the best way to just start with a fursuit and then just work your way up once you grow older and once you grow taller and stuff. And I know I'm gonna grow taller because I'm already tall. So that's why I'm gonna wait until I get a fursuit. But my not my main fursona, but just like my fursona biscuit, the jumpy one that I was talking about. Um, I don't want him to be in a medium partial. I just want him to just be in a full fursuit digigrade. First of all, I don't know why I didn't explain digigrade and plantigrade here. Digigrade is more animal like it's just mostly in the legs and the thighs. It's more animal like. I could show a picture, but I don't wanna. And digigrade is more human like. It's just legs, just straight on legs that are your legs basically. And digigrades are actually more expensive than plantigrades because the fursuit maker or yourself put padding. I don't know how to explain. Is padding another word for foam? I don't know, but they basically put foam or padding like in front of your kneecaps and then behind your calf. I don't know how to say it. To have it a more animal-like appearance. And that's why I'm gonna wait until I'm older for Biscuit. Yes, because of my height and I had to grow up more, but I want him to be in a full fursuit instead of a straight on partial. I mean, yes, my main fursona will be in a partial and then work up to a full fursuit. There's only like 4 stages to a fursuit. There's only heads, then there's partial, then there's 3/4, and then there's a full fursuit. Plenty or digi. The head is literally just a head. There's no paws, no tail, no feet. It's pretty cheap. You're fine. Partials are a little bit pricey depending on which website you're on. But they're the head, the paws, arm sleeves, leg sleeves. I think there's leg sleeves, feet, and a tail. Boom. There's your greatest freaking creation. And then the 3/4 is like a full fursuit, but it's to get more of a feel of a full fursuit when it's not really. It's just the head, the arm sleeves, like literally the bottom, like the freaking pants of the I don't know how to explain it. And then the feet and the tail. I think there is a way if you can commission a artist to just do the top part and not the bottom part. Maybe I only see like the bottom parts of a 3/4 suits. And then there's the full fursuit, which you guys are probably most known for. But I do suggest if you can get only like a head or a partial for a good start if you do want a fursuit. Because it's less pricey and it's a good way to work up to a full fursuit and not waiting for years and years and years to get a full fursuit. And making your own fursuit isn't really that. Was I really gonna say? Oh my god, I feel so stupid. Making your own fursuit is incredibly difficult. Yeah, I sometimes do suggest, you should do it, but at the same time, no, you should not, because you're probably gonna give up if you're a giver-upper like me. But it is an easier way if you are experienced with like DIY stuff, or if one of your family members are experienced with DIY stuff, then you should make a pretty decent like 1.0 of a fursuit. Yes, most fursuiters do have at least versions of their fursuits. Some have 1.0 and then they just stay with a 2.0 unless their 1.0 freaking fursuit is really good, they would stay with a 1.0. And some would even go to 1.3 and then they stick with 1.3 and stuff like that. Like Majira Strawberry, for example, he worked his way up from 1.1 to 1.3. He commissioned 1.3, and I don't know about the 1.2. Fluke, he commissioned for his 1.2. What? I just confused myself with my own words. I don't know what I said about Majira, but Majira, he worked his way up from 1.0 from 3.0. I'm pretty sure I kept continuously saying 1.0. Wow, I feel so done. I'm so sorry. But Majiro worked his way up from 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. He's staying with his 3.0, but he actually still has his 2.0. I'm pretty sure his Statsu is retired though. And then bye guys. And then Fluke, he has a 1.0 and then a 2.0 because he commissioned for his 2.0. And for me, I'll probably like, I'm still young, so I'll continuously make like continuously upgrade my personas until like I'm satisfied with what I have. And then I'll commission. Of course, I'm gonna have different versions if I'm not satisfied with what the design looks like. So yeah, mistakes can happen, and it's alright to like ask the commissioner or yourself to just redo it. But I think that's all I gotta say. Yeah, it was a short live stream, but right now I gotta eat, and I'm not going back to just. Yeah, it's a short live stream. I'm so sorry, but hope you guys enjoyed this live stream about me ranting of furries. I'm probably gonna rant more if I don't know learn about it. I was gonna show you my persona and my brother's persona. I mean, I can probably show you real quick. Like my brother's persona is right here, like right now. I kind of updated his scar, his like markings and his stuff, his paws to look a little bit more smoother. But this is his full persona. You cannot see that. I'm actually working 3 designs because I don't know, like, okay, I can explain this real quick. So I asked him if he wanted a hybrid, and then I made a fox hog, which is a mixture of a fox and a hedgehog, which is not an existing species. So I accidentally made an original species by accident. So then I said to myself, I'm gonna just make him 3 designs: a fox, a wolf, and a fox hog to see which one he's satisfied with. And then once I'm done, I'll show it to him, and he gets to pick which persona will look best, and that will be his main persona. I also have another one that he created. But right now I gotta go. Thank you for joining my live stream. Bye. Yes.